Ryan, getting very close to the game. We've talked predictions. We've talked everything regarding the game. And here we are. We're into the game. Apologies for the delay, but we are underway right now between Neissat and Musti. Here we go.
I think it'll be a very interesting game. I'm hoping that we see a lot of goals because I believe the combined from both of them, they did score 11 goals if you combine it. Of course, Neissat scoring 7 against Collier, and he could have even scored more, in fact. But I'd say it will be well, I hope anyway, it will be a high-scoring game.
It's going to be Nom Neissat kicking from left to right in the white, Musti from right to left in that orange that we saw him only a couple of hours ago when he knocked out arguably the favourite behind Dullen Mike in Greasy Mino, 4-3. Neissat, 7-1 victory against Bundle Colin. If you are just joining us, it's the losers bracket semi-final. Joined by myself, Richard Buckley and Ryan Pessoa. EU qualifier number 2. Neissat looking to break the deadlock here. Does get a little bit lucky. Great tackle.
That tackle's as good as a goal, because if he got a shot off there, it was most certainly going to end up hitting the back of the net. As you said, though, both of these players, for Musti, there'll be a lot of confidence because you mentioned he beat Mino, who was regarded as, arguably, as you said, the second favourite, he's such a good player, and he was knocked out by 4-3. But we do have a chance here.
Ooh, lovely reverse elastico inside the box there. Just got enough bodies behind the ball, did Neissat. I think this game, in particular, Ryan, the small intricacies, I'm going to ask you to point them out when we can. In the dribbling, super cancels, reverse elasticos, just the small details that we might miss, they're going to be so important in this game. As you see Ronaldo bearing down the defender, just like that, and smashed into the near post. What has he done there? What has he done?
Wow. I think that's LB strafing. So he's strafe dribbling. So when someone does that, when they're in the animation, you sort of think they're going to burst down line. But he sort of, like he was backing off with Kyle Walker. He caused Musti to back off, back off, back off. He didn't know if he was going to turn left and right, and he smashes it home with Ronaldo. That is a fantastic goal, the dribbling there. I'm not sure, it's either strafe dribbling or it could be contextual agile dribbling, but I think that is strafe dribbling.
Beautiful play, nonetheless, from Cristiano Ronaldo to break the deadlock here. We had a little bit of a delay getting into the game, but as soon as we are underway, it's taken 15 minutes for Neissat to fire this game into life. Just having a quick reminder of the teams. Marcus Rashford, Patrick Vieira in use. That defence somewhat unconventional. Alphonso Davies, Zachariah Klosterman, and also Lena as a back four. Not the typical Varane or Walker partnership. But up top, it's anything but unconventional. R9, CR7, Rashford, all featuring for him. Through ball there, looking for CR7. Ronaldo's got away from his man there in the middle. If he does decide to cross it in, Pele inside the box. Played into Cristiano Ronaldo. Bags of time. He cleared up the line. Chance still alive. Rashford out wide. Back into Patrick Vieira on the edge. Good tackle from Bruno Fernandes. The Frenchman does keep hold of the ball. And it's recycled back to Patrick Vieira, and Musti just taking the sting out of the attack a little bit. Going back to go forward. What a chance that was.
Wow. That's a 99% goal scoring chance on any other day. But R9 Ronaldo is powering through here.
Oh, wow. Talk about counter-attacking football. Neissat, under pressure, cleared it off his own line. And literally, 10, 15 seconds later, the ball broke in the midfield. One through ball for R9 Ronaldo, and he's in on goal. Talk to me about those deep through balls, because it's only in FIFA 21 that they seem to be so apparent.
The through balls are crazy, and it's not. To be fair, of course, it's very prevalent this year, but they've been a thing for a number of years now. I know in the pro community it's regarded as like the ball, because I remember he used to, I forgot what FIFA it was. It might have been.
I think it was last year, 20.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, FIFA 20. It might have been then or 19, but he would have used those through balls and generate a lot of goal scoring opportunities from it. And it's a harsh goal to concede. I'll be honest. It's just because he was so close to scoring and it was blocked off of the line. He done everything well there, and as I said, give him that chance 9 more times out of 10, and he's going to score it at least like 9 other times.
Yeah, absolutely. Hernandez here. We are doing a complete remote broadcast, so if there are any slight issues, everybody is around the world right now. Try and get everything ironed out as soon as possible. What you do need to know, Neissat 2-0 up here, the Israeli against Musti. Losers bracket semi-final. Winner of this guarantees a top 3 finish, $7,500, and a big jump up in prize money as well. Get to see Neissat there. Full concentration, leaning forward. You saw him when he scored earlier. It was a big smile from Neissat. I think you can tell that he really enjoys it sometimes when he's playing well and scoring goals and creatively flowing in the final third.
Yeah, exactly. And he's by himself. You see other competitors are perhaps with family members as well. He's just chilling. I believe that's his bedroom. I like the wardrobe as well. But yeah, he's very chilled. I'm not sure what happened to the game, so apologies on that front. But he'll be taking a lot of confidence from it because he's 2 goals up and he's creating chances. He's defending well, even though, of course, the block is slightly lucky, to be honest. But he still was controlling Klosterman. It was just, as I say, it was one of those things where if that chance was against him again, he probably would end up conceding it. But yeah, 2 goals up early on definitely will fill him with confidence.
Yeah, we'll get the game back as soon as possible between these two. Neissat leading 2-0. Just give you a little bit of story of the day. Optello in the losers bracket final after losing 5-3 against Dullon Mike. Dullon Mike is in the grand final, waiting for a rival and competitor to try and take away, you would say, his proposed trophy. I mean, is that looking too far ahead? But he's the favourite. A lot of people regard him as the best player right now in EU, especially on Xbox. I think Dullon Mike, it'll be full of confidence going into that grand final. Looking at the other players that he's playing against right now, maybe being a little bit more nervous coming into these higher pressure money games. But if anything, what we've seen from Neissat, 2-0 up, cruising, 37 minutes in. Now we're back underway, looking to make it 3-0.
Yep, and you spoke about Dullon Mike. Now, whoever makes it into the grand final has to reset the bracket. Now, against Dullon Mike, winning one set of a best of 2 is very difficult. So doing it twice will be no easy task. And as you say, I believe he's currently the best player in Europe because, as I mentioned, he's been cruising through many practice tournaments and in the Club World Cup, and he's been performing fantastically well. And to have a teammate like Gorilla, like who's been somewhat reliant on Dullon Mike winning the coin tosses, like it just goes to show. And he's got a chance here, Musti.
What a save! What a save! Pele looking on the rebound, just hits the side netting, and that will do us for half-time. Final play of the half. A great chance for Musti. Did he play that right? Did he do everything right? That looking at hindsight?
I think he did. He bull rolled the goalkeeper. I think it was a block there. I'll be honest. I think it's a block, but I have to give credit to Neissat there because he was moving the goalkeeper to try and close the angle. Because in that situation, there's not really much you can do. You could, I guess, try and shoot across goal in hindsight, but obviously in the moment in time, the simple thing to do would to be bull roll the goalkeeper, go around him and shoot. It was put off at a tight angle, and the rebound as well was so close. It's unfortunate. As I said, it could be 2-2, but it's just he shouldn't be downbeat or disheartened because of it. He just had to keep pushing on. And in the Mino game, he was also 1-0 down, albeit it's 2 goals now, but he's still in the game.
Yeah, 2-0. He does trail Musti right now, but he's come back before. He's 3-1 down in the second half, and that substitution at halftime, Kleiber on for Varane. If you're going to make a sub at halftime, this is just me thinking out loud, surely you want Kleiber in your team, right? That's why he's making that sub. He's not looking at Varane and he doesn't fill in with confidence. Do you not just pause it as soon as the game starts and bring him off?
Very good question.
As soon as you can, you get him on. Cristiano Ronaldo, no mistake on this time. Musti from kickoff, getting him back in the game. Half in the deficit. 2-1 Neissat leads.
If Zachariah got a block on there, man, Musti, I'm leaving the game because, again, as I mentioned, the ball around the goalkeeper, the whole goal to aim at, it was still kind of close from Zachariah to blocking it. But yeah, 2-1. As I say, there's still a lot to play for. We've got this half plus the other leg as well. And you're mentioning the sub initially at the start. Now, I have that same mindset, and you're always asking yourself a question because maybe if you don't sub off Varane, and it's so difficult to say because you might concede a goal and you think, damn, if I had Kleber on the pitch because he's a bit faster and stronger, would I have conceded that? And it's just like you ask yourself so many questions. But honestly, it's come to the point where I would probably sub him on at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, look, at the end of the day, if you can get him in on chemistry, even on 7 chem, when you bring a sub on, it's 5 chemistry. So even if you bring him on if you start him on 7 or on 8, it's worthwhile doing. That foul there inside the box, referee waving it away. Looks like a short corner potentially played, actually going into the back post. Ronaldo heads it back across. Oh, we're getting flashbacks to 11-man pro clubs right there, going to the back stick. Neissat chance still not completed. Bruno Fernandes into Marcus Rashford. The two United boys linking up, and that's Cristiano Ronaldo. Picture perfect reverse elastico and smash past the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that elastico, my goodness. My goodness, fantastic work. We noticed there's been a lot of CR7 goals on his weak foot, and it goes to show how efficient he is in front of goal on either foot, how reliable he is. Well, most of the time anyway, but that's beautiful. Yeah, Musti. It's just when that stuff happens, right? When your players run into each other, you know it's just not your day. You just gotta, in my opinion, if I'm in this position, 3-1, I'll take it. I'll bring me into the next game because, yeah, nothing's going for me.
It's very interesting you say that because is that a mindset that I've often said on commentary? Sometimes you've got to just consolidate. Sometimes the game's not going for you. You just take the loss, move on to the second leg. But I've had people message me on social media and say that's ridiculous. You shouldn't do that. But I feel as though it's not a bad idea. Sometimes it's better not to lose by a big margin as Ronaldo gets in front of his man 4-1. If you're Musti, you can't let the game be finished after leg one. I'm probably going even more defensive if I'm Musti right now and trying to see out, as crazy as it sounds, a 4-1 loss.
Do you know what the craziest thing is, right? That goal, of course, is fantastically worked from Neissat, but it's so unlucky because his player's there, right? And it's like he's a toenail away from intercepting it. And of course, he's conceded that, but then he's also missed two chances where he's gone around the goalkeeper. So it's like, of course, you have those games. And a perfect example from my personal experience, I'll never forget, it was FIFA 19. I believe it was Cup 6 or LQE number 6. And I played against an opponent called Black Arrow, right? And in the first leg, I was 4-0 down, and I promise you, it could have been 10 easily. I did not deserve anything from the game, and I just thought to myself, I'm just going to park the bus, keep the ball, because I didn't feel like I could create anything. It was very weird, even though it's so hard to explain, because I remember being in a situation thinking, what's going on? And in the next game, I played the exact same way, and I ended up winning 5-0. So it's like, maybe if I had the mindset of just carry on playing, maybe your luck will change. I could have been 6 or 7-0 down, and it was game over. But then I just, sometimes you just, it's not discipline. It's just sometimes you just have to realize if your luck's in, your luck's in. But of course, it's a video game. Sometimes like things can just fall your way. So it's very difficult to explain.
No, absolutely. I think in times you can always be positive. You can always think I'm going to get back into games. But sometimes you need to have a little bit of realism. You need to be a realist and think this game's not going for me. But my opponent, I can beat him and I can beat him comfortably. If I've conceded 3, it's off the old adage. If I've conceded 3, if I've lost the first half 3-0, win the second half 3-0. And you can turn games around. Also, shout out Honey Badger, because I think he was a coach, if I remember correctly, in that particular event. And you two, unbelievable scenes. I remember it. I was just stood behind the stage at the Gfinity Arena, and you scored the 4th, and it was the most vocal I've ever seen Ryan Pessoa.
Yeah, I don't celebrate.
It's a piece of FIFA Gold, eSports FIFA Gold, FIFA 19, at the Gfinity Arena. Chance here for Musti to try and get back into the game. Currently trailing 4-1. Neissat in, you would say, cruise control right now, but he's still looking to add more goals. We've seen Musti turn around 2 goals inside 4 minutes against Mino. This game's not over yet, even though the scoreline is 4-1.
Not at all. And I honestly want to credit his choice in defensive back line. This have been phenomenal. Like the performances from Lamar, Klosterman and Zachariah specifically. Of course, Davies is incredible, but the kind of movement here with him in Neymar, he's so good at close control dribbling in the box. It's crazy.
Chance again. Ronaldo, bridge touch into the space, slotted past the goalkeeper, and yet again, Cristiano Ronaldo scores on his weak foot. I'm telling you, it's the closest thing to it's 4 stars and 99% of a 4-star weak foot, because he is just as good on his left as he is on his right.
He's on fire, I'll be honest. And as I mentioned before, there were chances for Musti. I feel sorry for him, but it's 5-1, right? There's no hiding away from it. He knows he hasn't performed at the level defensively to progress, but it's still not over, right? There's still time to go. He's still got 10 minutes left. If he can get a goal at least, or at least just try not to concede again, because Neissat, every time he has the ball in the final third, it just looks like he's going to score.
and we talked about consolidating, if he can get a 6th right now on the other side of that for Neissat, he's thinking I can kill this game. I've got my opponent round my finger right now. I am in cruise control. I am scoring everything that's going for me. All the bounces are going my way. We've talked about the trailing side of this when you're 5-1 down. But if you're the offensive player and you're 5-1 up, you're in dreamland right now because everything has gone your way.
Yeah, from personal experience anyway, if I'm up by this, it's sort of, I'm so confident anyway, I'm not afraid to lose the ball. Whereas sometimes you might be up maybe 3-1 and you just think to yourself, if I concede here, it's basically game on. But you try and, of course, eliminate negative thoughts, but of course you have to be realistic where if he does score, it's going to give him a boost as well. But, oh my
what
God,
pass?
That's a beautiful pass.
Oh, what a pass that is. Kleiber completely cut out of the game. Cristiano Ronaldo showing off his passing range as well into his namesake, Ronaldo Nazario, who smashes past the keeper. 6-1 inside the first leg. Norman Neissat won his first game 7-1 against Bundled Colin. He's now 6-1 up in the first leg right now. This is bad viewing if you're a Musti fan, I have to say.
Yeah, Jesus, I don't even know where to begin. I feel for him. It's tough. Like, it's... I'll be honest, I don't see a way back. I'll be honest. It's one of those things where you got to message him at full time and just be like, steady on. My friends are watching at home. Because 6-1.
I mean...
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's tough. It is tough.
Yeah, we'll get your opinions of it at halftime. 6-1. How did this game go from 0-0 at minute 0 to 6-1, other than him scoring 6 goals and his opponent only scoring 1? Because I don't feel like, as crazy as it sounds, I don't feel like Neissat dominated the game. I don't feel like it was all one-way traffic. Musti had chances.
Exactly. The game just got away from him. And the chances, as I say, it's so hard to like blank it out from your mind when you're playing. But I know from personal experience, when you miss those chances, especially in a situation like this where the importance is huge, the prize money, the points up for grabs, also the pride and the status as well of progressing far in tournaments. When you miss a chance twice, when you go around the goalkeeper, and one of them's been blocked where you think, surely that's a goal. And then if I get it again, I'm going to score. And then it goes wide. It's just like... Oh my God! I'll be honest, it does lower your head a bit, but then the key is just to pick yourself back up and just to try not let those things affect you. Maybe it didn't, maybe it did. Who knows? Only he would know that. But again, as you mentioned, it wasn't necessarily dominant, but it was a thing where every time he had an attack, it genuinely looked like he was going to score every single time. Yeah, it was crazy.
I often talk about in FIFA esports having a short-term memory, not thinking back to times you've played other opponents, not thinking back to even previous legs. That is more important than ever for Musti right now, because a 5-goal swing is doable. You've done it yourself in FIFA 19. You turned over 5 goals in a game. He has to score 5 to take it to extra time. It is doable. Musti can have the game of his life. Neissat can be off the pace. But you have to forget about the first leg.
Yeah, that's the key. It's so hard. Like, it's easier said than done. Trust me. Like, it's a lot easier said than done. However, if he's able to, in my head, I'm thinking, all right, I'm 6-1 down, so I need to score 5 goals to equalize, right? If I can maybe be winning by 2 from like the 60th minute or so, I will sort of have like a boost of confidence. However, if it's reaching that point and it's still 0-0, it's like, do I throw the kitchen sink now? But then it's very tough because you don't know. Do you go into this game as Musti? Do you carry on with the same tactics you were using? Do you change to something more offensive, more defensive, so you can just try and keep it? It's very tough.
Yeah, we are underway right now. Musti kicking from left to right in the orange, trailing 6-1. He is on the offense here from the kickoff. A goal is needed for him to give him a little bit of hope back in the game. Kylian Mbappe looking for the run of Marcus Rashford right there. And it's Nom Neissat from right to left in the white kit. Neissat has to start quick. It's essential for him to get a goal within the first 10-15 minutes. Myself and Brandon were commentating the Eredivisie at the beginning of January, and Nick DeHarmer turned over he was trailing by 5 goals. He turned over 4 goals and then missed a 90th minute penalty. to equalise the game and take us to extra time. So we have seen it done. It is doable to turn over goal deficits like this.
It is,
but
and you spoke about like team press.
I just don't see it happening now.
It would be tough. It definitely would be tough. He had a chance there as well with Pele. Maybe he could have passed it, but then Neissat just, in my head, if I'm Neissat, I'm thinking, all right, my opponent is going to have to push players forward to contribute to attack, just to try and get bodies forward, to try and give him more chance to score, which means there's going to be more space opening up. So it's going to be end-to-end, this game for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Musti, we talked tactically, we talked about how he can potentially address this deficit in scoreline right now. It looks like he's still playing a 4-4-2, just having a quick browse over his team with Ronaldo up top. In terms of Neissat, just more of the same, really, if you're an Israeli FIFA fan or a fan of Nom.
He is. I'm watching the way he's using creative runs with his players as well, and like using R1 to call players back, L1 for the player runs as well. And it's phenomenal. I'm gonna be honest. Like the way he's doing it is causing so much issues for Musti. That's why he scored 6 goals. Right? There was no luck to that end of things. But he's just, as I mentioned, every time he goes forward, it's always like a chance, whether it's a complete shot at goal or if it's maybe one or two passes off from being one-on-one. So it's scary. It is very scary. So he'll be gaining a lot of confidence from this.
Chance here for Musti. A couple of step-ups inside the box. Maybe just going back to what worked for him in the qualifiers. Almost instinctive to do the step-overs there after they had so much success pre-patch. Step-overs the right decision there, or maybe a bridge touch or a heel-to-heel could have been more successful for him. Chance still not over yet. Ronaldo into Vieira. Ryan, about that chance there, the step-overs unnecessary?
Yeah, 100%. Especially post-patch. It's the thing where maybe he could have done the L1, R1 boost or heel-to-heel. But it's so easy to say that in hindsight. In the moment, especially as I mentioned, you could be just built in to use step-overs. Like as I say, so many players were reliant on it. It was crazy. So they were doing, like in this situation cluster when I'm seeing people step over, step over, step over, step over. It was everywhere. And that's an audacious ball that almost came off anyway from Neissat. But yeah, it's very easy to say that you shouldn't have done that, but again, when something that's built into your the fundamentals of the way you've been playing, it's so hard to knock it out of. Especially this patch only came out on Tuesday, so it's
you've not had long, really not too long at all. It's only Saturday now, so if you're playing, if you play say average, you're coming up to a tournament 8 hours a day roughly. You've qualified. You do the patch on Tuesday, 8, 16, 24. That's only like 30 hours that you've managed to get with the new patch. It's really not too long at all to learn the intricacies of it and what is working, what is not working, because it was such a really, people built their game around the step overs. That was people's attacking options. It was step overs followed by other skill moves or then passing the ball off. Very similar to FIFA 20 where instinctively you get the ball and just do a ball roll. Some people didn't even know they were doing a ball roll. But you do a ball roll just because that is what you had to do. Pele, chance here on the edge of the box, looking for the through ball. Double tap of Mbappe. Smashes past the goalkeeper. 6-2. Do we have a potential game of the year on our hands?
That's huge, that goal right there. He had a chance as well, the one where it just went off for a goal kick. It was literally millimeters away, and it would have been a goal there. But he's creating chances. He is creating chances. He should gain some confidence. I know he's still down by 4, but 55 minutes left plus added time. Honestly, you never know. And if he comes back from this, wow, like that would be crazy.
Oh, it would be one of the greatest comebacks in FIFA history if he was to overturn this deficit right now. But we often say, when you are the attacking player, you put more bodies forward, you go team press, you put your depth higher, your width higher, maybe press after possession loss, press on heavy touch, even constant pressure. What does that mean? It means there is space in behind you to get counter-attacked on. And in all honesty, Neissat has looked incredible in the offensive third. Defensively, there's a few holes there. But offensively, he looks very, very slick. Chance here, Marcus Rashford inside the box. Scoop turn, sits his man down. 6-3 before half-time.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That was extremely composed there. I was going to say, if he gives the ball away, he'll be so annoyed with himself because he had a chance. 3 goals now with a half plus some minutes left. Oh my God. I'll be honest. I'd hate to be either of these players right now. They're scary because you don't want to be that person to give it away, but then you sort of would be annoyed as well at the first leg, thinking, why did you let it go? So remember, did I not say that he should have kept it a bit close? Like, of course,
3-1
4-1 isn't close,
yeah.
but yeah, 4-1, 3-1, it's not close, but you're still in. Like, 6-1 is such an uphill battle.
Well, I mean, if this game ends, if it finished the first leg, say 4-1, look at the stats at half-time. Neissat has had 0 shots, 0 on target. He's also been dominated in terms of the offensive stats at half-time in leg number 2. 6-3, the Israeli leads over Musti. The game's not finished yet, though. Do not go anywhere because you don't want to sleep on this match right now. Musti scored 2 goals in about 6 minutes against Mino to level that game up 3 apiece. He scored 2 goals in around 8 minutes. In this game right now, all he has to do in this second half is get aggressive. Show Neissat no respect whatsoever and press the life out of him.
Exactly, and I think that Kleber sub right now could actually be very beneficial because you're going to need that pace when you're pushing players forward, just in case that the ball goes in behind. But wow, who knows what could happen here? This could be crazy.
That chance right there, Neissat just squandering it. He went for the double tap pass. Musti managed to get bodies behind the ball. Cristiano Ronaldo making that run through the middle and forcing the rest of the defensive line to fall back. Kylian Mbappe isolated with Lema out wide. Cut back to Pele inside the box.
My
to turn onto his left foot. There was a pass in there, Ryan.
No, God, as I say, it's hindsight, but it's like, he made a mistake. He didn't expect that turn would work. That, like, just the first turn would send him. But again, they're still so long. Like 3 goals in one half, like it's definitely possible.
That has to be a huge confidence builder as well. Just a simple turn is getting away from your defender, but he cannot concede if he wants to break this. Neissat is overthinking. What? He is overthinking everything he is doing right now. Chance still alive. Neymar at the back post, heel to heel, swipes it across, and finally gets that goal in the second leg that could be the killer blow in this losers bracket semi-final. I thought he choked it. I just thought he choked that chance.
I can't believe that. It was literally like an open goal, and he passed it, but he done well there to work it around. Very composed. The goal. Now that should ease it a bit. He should feel it a lot. Well, to me anyway, you're 4 goals up. You have to resort to game management. When you get the ball, you just keep it slowly. Your opponent has to push players forward now. Like he literally has to.
Yeah, 7-3 down. Vieira weaving through players like a prime Maradona right there. Chance does come to nothing though for Musti. That pause cued by the German as well. 30 minutes left to play on the clock. The winner of this will be playing Otello in the losers bracket final with a date with Dull and Mike in the grand final for the victor. Couple of step overs from Cristiano Ronaldo. Can he get a chance out the back of this? He's looking for a pass inside the box. Reverse elastico into Pele, fake shot, cuts back inside, and again I think on the offensive, Musti just overthinking it a little bit. Both players have been sort of victims of their own success in the final third. They're getting too much space off the original dribbles and not expecting it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the worst thing I always say about this, right? I find it so hard to play against people that that's beautiful. That's got to be
that's game.
That's game. Hey, it's 100%. It's 100% over. No doubt about it. It's a beautiful goal with the celebration to match as well, and it's definitely going to be a deserved victory from Neissat.
And you were just saying before that goal went in, you're talking about you find it hard to play against certain players.
Yeah.
Or
so
when in
I
dribbling.
find it hard. Yeah, I find it hard to play against people that do the obvious, if that makes sense. Because it's like you always overthink things, thinking there's no way he's gonna turn. Let's say he's going on goal with Messi, or like he's on the edge of the box with Messi. You're thinking there's no way he's gonna turn on his left, right? Surely it's kind of obvious. Messi is gonna finesse it or Robin or whatever, and then they actually do it instead of like passing to like an open player. That sort of catches me off guard, if that makes sense. And those are the things where Musti had chances because Neissat was sort of overthinking it himself defensively and tried to mark the other runs or the other players in the box instead of controlling the defender right there. And Musti had it's not a goal scoring opportunity, but it's just a chance that could have led to a shot, which unfortunately didn't happen for him.
And now all the offensive stats potentially that can be amped up are being amped up for Musti, trailing 8-3 with 27 minutes left to play here. Neissat won his losers bracket quarterfinal game 7-1, and he's now winning 8-3. This man's been an absolute goal machine, Ryan, in this tournament. I'm just having a look at the rounds before we started broadcasting today. Musti beat Mino 4-3, as you saw. He beat Natsu 7-2. He beat Roken 8-1. On the other side of that, the Israeli, he beat X-Lenny 3-2. He beat Benny CR7 3-1. And he beat Oli Lito 4-2. So an absolute run from hell. And he is thriving right now on the broadcast. After beating Colin 7-1, he is 9-3 up. This man has gone through the trenches to get to a loser's bracket final.
He's done amazing. Both of these players, it's a huge credit to both of them for reaching this stage. Musti as well, of course, it looks like he's going to definitely be eliminated, but he should take positives from it. He gains a lot of points towards the leaderboard, which will push him up in towards a playoff spot, which in my opinion should be pretty much guaranteed. And it's also his first event as well, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but again, there's a lot of confidence to take from it. And Neissat will be thriving because he scored 9 goals in this game at least. There's still more time to play. He also scored 7 in the previous game, or the previous 2 legs as well. And it's frightening, to be honest, the way he was attacking. And I'd love to see, there's no guarantees that he even makes it to play against Mike, but I'd love to see those 2 play against each other.
I mean, look, we said it in the first leg, just going back to our commentary, Ryan. 6-1, first leg scoreline. It were out of hand. You can't expect to turn over a 5-goal deficit in one leg just to force extra time. The game, in all honesty, we all had our Musti hats on, and we were wanting a comeback, but at 6-1 down, it's just realistically never going to happen.
Yeah, it's so tough too, especially against somebody, as I say, he picks you apart every single. You commit that extra or those 2 fullbacks forward, and he's got the space on the break. Even like here, he isn't necessarily all-out attack, but it's like he's just breaking through so easy. I think, the goalkeeper Van der Sar's just got there ahead of Ronaldo, but yeah, Neissat offensively and counter-attacking this leg has been superb. The first half though, if I don't know, Musti had a chance. It could have gone a different way, but you never know. And as you said, we kind of wanted to come back just for entertainment purposes, and it looks like it will be a goal here, but it's nothing short of a consolation to make it 9-4.
Yeah, we're all wanting that comeback for the entertainment value, but it just wasn't meant to be in the end. A performance, we often say, in the second leg will take you through the overall series, but Musti sort of fell apart in that first leg. Neissat just picked him off like a sort of a vulture picking at a carcass. There was holes there. He was still trying to attack in the game, and Neissat was so good with those creative runs at finding the gaps, finding the spaces that didn't seem to be there. Ronaldo ball past the goalkeeper. Kleiber just does enough. Maybe the only time I've seen Kleiber do something defensively sound in this series so far.
Yeah, I've been bigging him up, and he's dropping a 0 out of 10 performance in this game. But it's, as I say, it's a foregone conclusion. The game's done and dusted. But again, both of these players should take positives from it, especially Neissat. And Musti, is he going to score here? No, he isn't. Klosterman,
that's the
again,
story of his day.
Tackle. Yeah, Klosterman's been phenomenal, by the way. Klosterman and Lema and Zachariah, and of course Dave. That whole backline has impressed me a lot, to be honest. They've been fantastic.
Yeah, the unconventional Bundesliga defence really coming out on top in this game. Lema, Zachariah, Klosterman and Davis, but he does the job. Very offensive performance yet again from Norm Neissat. 9-4. He comes out victorious in the end. It was a 6-1 first leg performance. He got over the line in the second leg. A great display from the Israeli yet again. 9 plus 17, he scored 16 goals today, Ryan. He looks incredible in the offensive third.
He's on fire. He is honestly on fire, and he will be playing up Tolly as well, which will be a close game. Both of those players are fantastic as well. So Neissat, I've been very impressed. As I mentioned, just his unpredictability and his dribbling. We saw, I believe it was the first or second goal he scored, was ridiculous with the dribbling. It's so good. So yeah, he'll be taking a lot of confidence going into that loser bracket final.
3 players left, Ryan, just before we get into that losers bracket final between Optello and Neissat. Dolomite, Optello and Neissat. The game that we're about to see right now in that losers bracket final From your perspective, if you were coming up against Neissat, he scored 16 goals in 4 legs of FIFA. How do you stop the Neissat train?
Wow. God, it's very difficult because obviously, as for Optoli, he has the luxury of being able to watch the game, so you're able to see just the little things that he was doing in a fence, and no matter how much you see it, it's still hard to defend because again, sometimes even for me personally, I'll be dribbling in the box. I don't even know what I'm doing. So how are you supposed to know? So it's very difficult to defend against, and it'll be tough. I'll be honest because you obviously don't want to go defensive just because you saw your opponent score 9 goals. That doesn't mean anything. Who's to say he's going to get those chances against you? But you just have to be wary because you never know. Anything could happen.
There'll be a lot of people out there, just before we throw back to the guys at the desk. When you're talking about creative runs, we're not talking about the player lock right now, where you put both analog sticks in and your mate runs off the ball. But with the creative runs, what do you mean by that? Because some people at home watching might not know what that is.
Yeah, so there were situations where he'd have the ball with his midfielder, and he would pass it to CR7, and R9 would make a run closer towards him. However, he would flick so you basically press L1 to make them run forward, and then you flick the right stick in the direction that you want the player to run into. So he was doing that with R9, getting the ball into CR7's feet, triggering the run and then flicking it. So R9 would run, let's say, to the right side of the pitch. He'd pass it back to Vieira, and then like a through ball or a pass to R9's feet. And by the time the defender gets across, R9's already gone. So it's like it was so hard to defend against.
Yeah, I think I'm not counting out Optello whatsoever, but I would love to see Neissat with those creative runs against the 5-3-2 of Dullen Mike. But 3 players are left: Optello, Neissat, and Dullen Mike. Neissat putting on an incredible performance, 9 goals to 4 victory in the end, guarantees himself a top 3 finish